And Luke Harris, vocal powerhouse for the Hard as Nails metal band She Cries Wolf, who've had a massive 2019 thus far off the back of the stellar Slab of Heaviness in the Liar album released towards the start of this year, which was received really well here and abroad. And She Cries Wolf also played a ton of shows around Australia to back that up, and you're also set for a big show in your hometown of Brisbane at Crowbar in December. I think it's on the 21st of December. Luke, thank you so much for joining myself and Crannk for a chat, mate. I really appreciate it.
Oh, that's right, mate. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. First off, mate, for those who may not have heard of you, do you mind just briefly telling me who She Cries Wolf are?
Yeah, so we're just a metalcore band, bit of a post-hardcore kind of vibe from Brisbane. Yeah, we started in 2014 and just it's been a bit of a roller coaster ride.
Nice. How did She Cries Wolf form?
Myself and Kyle have always been good friends through music, and so we started the band just based on just a party, just had a few drinks, and we were talking about sounds and bands that we liked, and we just decided that it would be a good idea to be creative and do something. And we joked about playing shows with Norma Jean and Every Time I Die, and over the years we've actually had the privilege of doing that, so it's pretty amazing, pretty fulfilling, really.
Yeah, you've played with some amazing bands. Where does the name She Cries Wolf come from?
I think after I broke up with a girl, it's pretty much a standard, typical metalcore thing, but the name's kind of evolved over the years and means different things to different people. But originally it was about a girl that I was with. We broke it off, and she said some things that weren't so nice about me, and it was a little bit like the Boy Who Cried Wolf story. So yeah, I used that, and that was good.
Yeah, exactly. How and when did you first get into heavy metal, mate?
I'm 31 now, so I was probably about 15 or 16 when I first started going to the Lions Den in Brisbane, getting into like metalcore and like Amity Affliction and that kind of thing. Morning Tide, Against, some more hardcore bands as well. But yeah, definitely that's when I really got into it and got into bands like I Killed the Prom Queen and Parkway Drive. I don't know, it was just like one of those little things. I grew up in a very religious household, so it was always very, for me, it was like a bit of an escape thing. So yeah, just listening to that music, and it was kind of a bit, a bit funny. Like there's almost a sin to listen to that kind of music at the time. But yeah, that was like how I first got into the music. That's for sure.
Yep, it would have been pretty cool because you had Aaron Stringer from the Amity Affliction contribute guest vocals on the Magdalene. I think that was the first single off the album, wasn't it?
Yeah, that is correct. Yeah, so he's actually good friends with Luke Gull, who's our drummer, and they last year they were just chatting at a gathering, and basically Gull was saying that he had an album that he was working on with us, and Aaron just lended his vocals and said he'd be keen to jump on board. So that was a really cool full circle kind of story, I guess, considering they were one of the first bands that were kind of a gateway for me into the scene. So yeah, definitely cool.
Yep. As a musician, who are some of the people you feel have helped influence you on your journey so far, mate?
Is this like people that I personally know?
People you personally know, anyone you like, man, artists, whatever, whoever's influenced you.
I think a staple band that kind of has always been, I've always listened to and always looked up to has been AFI, particularly Davey Havok. I think like he, as a vocalist, as a lyricist, I think he's just definitely someone, as a performer even, just someone who I think is deserves a lot more credit. But yeah, I definitely think, that's probably the one band that myself and the rest of the band members of She Cries Wolf really love, which is funny because they're more of they're a bit all over the shop. Their sound is like a little bit, it depends which album, which era, but for the most part, more of a rock band.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got a mate who's a mad AFI fan. I've actually heard a lot of their stuff over the years too, and that is a good choice. They're unreal musicians, eh?
Oh, it's incredible. I think they really give it all. It's amazing.
And they do what they want to do, and they do what feels right for them at the time.
Exactly. It's very real. It's very honest, and that's, I think, really what appeals to me about it. It's awesome.
Yeah. How did you approach the songwriting for the Liar album?
It was a little bit different. Like in the first two albums that we released, it was 100% myself writing the lyrics, and not so much writing the lyrics before the music was written. So I would write after the music was all and the instruments were all done. This time around, I drew from a lot of poems that friends and family had submitted to myself, and then about 50% of it's me, I would say, but there's like a good 50% of it which I've actually referenced a lot of other things that people have contributed for myself, and it was actually a lot of that already written before writing music, so it was an interesting way of doing it, like sitting down with Kyle and actually structuring the songs around the lyrics. So I think that was something that we did a little bit differently. Aside from that, it was just your general recording process. You know, there was a long stage of pre-production for this album, though. It was a good year and a half of us writing in our bedrooms and really demoing it out before we actually recorded it in the studio, which was cool. It made the whole process a lot easier for us, I think.
Yeah, and it would have been good to have like such good feedback as well off that album too, eh? It was pretty well received here and abroad. Yeah, look, it was gratifying. Honestly, we didn't expect it to do as well as it did. Like, we did show the album to a few friends and a few mates that run record labels and that kind of thing, and we didn't really get too much of a response. So we were kind of like, oh, maybe the album isn't as good as we thought it was, and then we put it out, and then the response has been really overwhelming. Like, it is our most popular album to date in terms of plays and in terms of the response. We haven't really received any negative feedback, so that's always a good thing. No, and you played a ton of shows around Australia as well with it, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
If you had to pick one,
it was very cool.
One track off that album that you were most proud of as a vocalist, which one would you pick and why?
I'd probably go with Pine. I just think it's a very, lyrically a really honest song. And then I definitely pushed my vocal ability to the absolute limits on the back end of that track. It was a little bit outside of my range that I normally scream within, so it's more of a high scream. But I just definitely if that song is a song that I would always go to and listen to, and it moved me the most. So yeah, definitely Pine. Awesome.
She Cries, Wolf, you're wrapping up a huge 2019, as I said in the intro, and you've got a show in my old hometown in Brisbane, Vegas coming up. I think you're playing the whole Liar album in full, is that right?
Yeah, we'll be playing it front to back. So we've only really played about 6 songs off that album so far, or maybe 7. But yeah, about 7 songs of the album so far. So I'll say a percentage of it, but yeah, playing the whole thing front to back, exactly how it's played on the album. It's going to be interesting. It'll be hard for me to catch a breath, but it'll be definitely a fun show.
It's going to be an awesome show to be a part of. Who are you got on support with you guys?
So we have our good friends in Aparte, who are also like a local Brisbane band who we've played a lot with, not so much recently, but just definitely in the beginning. We played a lot with them, so that's good to have them on board. We've got a band called Deathbed, who are a newish type of band, but Al, the drummer, I've known for a really long time, and it's good to play that with them for the first time. And then we have another newish band called Fang that'll be opening it up. It's actually Gal's roommate is the vocalist, Andrew, so that's going to be a really cool show. And just a 4-band lineup. We didn't want to overstack it. I feel like a lot of these days, a lot of the shows are a little bit overstacked.
Yep.
So we just kept it tight, and just a 4-band lineup, and it should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, we've just got so much great Australian talent at the moment. It's hard not to stack a bill because we've got this many talented bands like yourselves that are just getting around. It's insane. The Australian music scene is really thriving at the moment.
Sure, man. Yeah. Well, thank you. Yeah, it is. It's really popping. Like I'm loving it. It's the last because we've been doing this for 5 years now.
Yep.
And I feel like I definitely have noticed a change in the caliber and quality of Australian artists. It's just I don't know whether it's technology or just the community is getting a little bit more glued on. I don't know, maybe a bit of both. But yeah, it's definitely a lot better and a lot stronger than it's ever been right now.
Yeah, well, I find as I've got a little bit older, like I'm telling my age now, I'm like 38 or 39. I've find in the last how many years I've explored a lot more. Once I reached my 30s, I was definitely a lot more keen to get out of my comfort zone and check out some more music.
That's it. Yeah, no, I can definitely resonate with that. Coming into my 30s, I'm a little bit more less militant with my music taste, so I could definitely a little bit more open to listening to different things. It's pretty cool.
Before we go, mate, I know you've had a massive 2019. Do you guys have anything planned at this stage for 2020, or just see it get through the rest of the year? Yeah.
Yeah, look, we've got this show coming up, obviously in December. Then 2020, we've just been. I can't mention the show, but in January you'll see it pop up on our feed. But
yep.
We've got a huge show, one of our biggest shows to date in January, which will be a cool one. So
awesome! I look forward to it. I'll share all the news up to Crannk when you announce it as well.
Yeah.
No,
thanks, mate. Thank you.
No worries. Luke Harris, thank you so much for making the time, mate. I know you had a busy day at work, and congratulations on amazing 2019. Keep cranking that metal, mate, and thank you very, very much for making the time to have a chat with me, eh?
Oh, no problem. Thank you, brother. Have a good night.
You too, mate. All the best. Thank you.
Yeah, bye.
See ya.